Ruckerman.
And we are live. Sbtalksports, Sean Webb, real takes over fake debates. And it is Monday, and we are sponsored by Swift Energy. Use code RTOFD to get 20% off your order every time you order. Sean, it's Monday. What's going on? First week of football, baby.
First week of football, first week of Monday Night Football. Y'all notice we're on an hour early because we're going to try to do this before Monday Night Football this season so y'all can enjoy the game and we can as well. But looking forward to it. First week of the season finally coming to an end. And, but let's get into it, man.
Yeah, no, we definitely got to get into it. I ain't going to lie. I was very excited. I enjoyed NFL football. It was great until all my parlays got busted. Thanks a lot, Chicago Bears. Could have been a couple thousands richer, but they just didn't want to pass the ball to nobody or hand the ball off. But it's cool. But besides that, I enjoyed every little bit. Got to see the Chargers, got to see the Bears, got to see a lot of other teams, a lot of good rookies. Sean, before we get into the show, because we definitely got to talk about some Super Bowl conversation, which is crazy. We already talked about the Super Bowl now. But out of all the games that you skimmed through, because obviously if you guys watched all the games, you probably didn't watch one game at one time. What was the one game that stuck out to you most where it was the most exciting game for you?
Definitely the Colts-Texans game was a good one. It was very competitive. And I would say Miami-Jacksonville, but more because Jacksonville, I think, choked just late in the game. But definitely that Colts-Texans game was probably the best game of the weekend.
Yeah, no, that game was right, bro.
Oh, and that Lions-Rams. I'm sorry, I can't forget the Sunday night game.
That Lions-Rams was a good game. That throw from Anthony Richardson to stumble and while stumbling and still throw the ball, I think he threw it 60 yards?
It was like 60, 65 yards.
Yeah. That's honestly that's like ridiculous to still launch the ball like that. But for me, obviously, good to see my Chargers back on the field. I can definitely acknowledge that Texans and that Colts game I have to agree with you on that one. That was like a good showing. You see Stephon Diggs, they leave Stephon Diggs alone, man. Every time he argue, everybody argue on the sidelines all the time. As soon as it look, Stephon Diggs ain't happy, he cried on the sideline. And it's crazy after they showed him doing that, he did score like that next, I think drive or the second drive. I was like, I gotta leave my boy. I gotta leave my boy alone. Salute Tiffany too in the chat. But let's go ahead and get into it, Sean. Like I said, we got to talk about the Super Bowl already. So I don't know if you've seen, it was a Super Bowl commercial drop, and it was announced that Kendrick Lamar will be headlining this year's Super Bowl in New Orleans. And everybody has been in an uproar, even including me, because everybody asking, how you going to New Orleans and the greatest rapper from New Orleans, and some people greatest rapper of all time, or a consensus top 5 artist of all time, how is he not be able to perform in his own home state, actually town, because he's from New Orleans? Did Lil Wayne get snubbed, Sean?
No. No.
Okay.
No. Let me ask you something, SB. Let me ask you something. Where is Usher from?
Atlanta.
Okay, but technically Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, technically Chattanooga, but I much he be down in Atlanta. I thought he's from Atlanta.
Right, yeah. But I mean, I know he, anyway. Where's Rihanna from?
I think she like Jamaica. Like she was like from somewhere from an island. She's an island girl, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah, from Barbados.
Barbados. Okay.
All right. So they performed they were the headliners of the last 2 Super Bowls. Last I checked, neither of those Super Bowls were played in Chattanooga, Tennessee, or in Barbados.
Okay.
All right. So at the end of the day, who headlines the Super Bowl where is not the issue. I know a lot of people are gonna make a big stink about New Orleans and blah blah blah. The one thing about the Super Bowl, the headliner knows where they are. Right? The headliner knows where they are. And if we want to be real, the last time the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, who headlined?
What Super Bowl was that?
That was the one with the Ravens and the 49ers.
One in
Beyoncé.
Yeah, I was say, yeah, I was it was R&B artist, Beyonce, yeah.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, and again, she ain't from New Orleans, she's from Houston. So it's not about where the Super Bowl is, it's about who now Rock Nation, run by Jay-Z, believes is going to put together the best performance. And smartly, most of these artists who do headline the Super Bowl always bring people out with them. That's part of the shtick.
Yeah.
You got to believe Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free are going to tap very much into the New Orleans artist base because the Super Bowl's in New Orleans. They ain't crazy.
No, they ain't. But okay, hold on, wait. Salute G Money. They say everybody hit the same smash like butter do. Andrew, what you want? Off topic and show? I'm not answering that. My girl watched the show. I'm not answering that.
I'll answer it for you. It's Ashanti, but we can move forward.
Both of them.
Ashanti.
But for me, though, Sean, Lil Wayne 100% got snubbed. 100%. You had a chance, like, because I do agree. Usually in the Super Bowl, the hometown person don't do it, but a little bit of the situation changed because of the LA situation and how good the LA, Dr. Dre, all the LA artists in besides 50 and M, because it's part of
and Mary J. Blige.
And Mary J. Blige, but it had the LA guy headlining, which he could have probably brought out other artists. But I feel like, because usually when the guy who performs with rappers, because we was talking about this on True to King podcast, like Super Bowl usually don't have like rap artists that really headline in a situation like that. So it's rare for that anyway. So I think for the point of the situation when you go to get a rapper, I think Wayne would have been perfect. But the problem is that I have is the politics that's got in the way of it. And not necessarily with Wayne, it's because of with Jay-Z. And I know everybody thinking like, oh, what you mean Jay-Z? Because Jay-Z got a problem with Birdman, got a problem with Drake, he got a problem with Beyonce. It's a whole bunch of outside things going on. But Wayne has never been in the middle of it. Also, you got to remember, Jay-Z also tried to sign Wayne. So I think it was like people feeling like Wayne missing out on an opportunity where they think Hov would have picked Wayne, but the outside politics and the people outside around him that Hov don't rock with, that Wayne maybe missed the opportunity. Because you know if Wayne performed, he's going to bring Drake, he's going to bring Nicki, Birdman going to be somewhere doing a bird call, whatever. He might bring the Hot Boys out too. So I just think like that's my only problem when it comes to play, because it ain't like Wayne got a catalog. Wayne, one of the greatest rappers of all time. And then with Kendrick, it really stems from, and I hate to say this because how great of an artist that Kendrick is, it really stems from Kendrick being hot from the Drake beef right now, because Kendrick don't drop songs like that. If Kendrick didn't have this recent beef with Drake and Not Like Us become like one of the hottest songs of the summer, I don't know if Kendrick would have been picked, because Kendrick would have never dropped no music. Kendrick been somewhere chilling, being a dad, whatever he doing, being on his Mr. Morale stuff. So I think it's just like a lot of other things mixing in a pot that's stirring away for something great that we can see, because you got obviously Wayne, who, in my opinion, is the greatest rapper of all time, but consistently top 5, top 3 all time, and you got it in New Orleans. I think you got to give Wayne that opportunity to try to put on a show. I know Wayne is a little older. I know we talked before the show that his performance has been a little bit off lately, but I think coming from the Super Bowl, which he wants to perform in, which he's been saying for years that he wants to do it when it was announced in New Orleans, I think Wayne should have been given an opportunity.
But here's the thing. You don't have to be the headliner to perform.
Oh, that's over with, Sean. You ain't been seeing online? Oh,
no.
My God.
What I'm saying is that there's a lot of people who perform at the Super Bowl who are not the headliner, right? There was a year, and I want to say it was Coldplay, if I remember correctly. I think Coldplay headlined the Super Bowl in San Francisco, but they brought out Bruno. They brought out Beyonce, right? Bruno headlined one year. Like he brought, so that's the nature of the Super Bowl. They pick a headliner, and then that headliner, in conjunction with whoever's sponsoring it, whether it's Pepsi or whoever, will determine which artists that they'll bring out and they'll use during the performance. Right. I think what happens a lot of times, sometimes people get caught up in catalog, and I don't want to browbeat this point, SB, but do you remember when Versus first started?
Yes.
Right. Do you remember how Versus changed after a little while?
When they started doing the live performances with the Versus?
The live performances, right? So when Versus first started, it wasn't about the performance. It was about catalog. Once it changed and it became about the live performance, the whole your catalog was cool, but that was not what mattered.
Hey, I'm gonna see if you lock it in with me. Which one changed that? Which battle was it? It was the live performance one that changed the dynamic. Which one was it? I'm gonna see if you gonna lock it in with
Locks and Dipset.
Yes, sir. The Locks and Dipset what changed everything. Yes, sir. Right. The Locks and Dipset what changed everything.
And there were people who said, "Oh, Dipset got the better catalog," and it's like, listen, this is not about catalog. This is about performance. And
Dipset.
And you know, you're a Wayne fan. I love Wayne. I listen. Wayne is, Wayne been around since the late 90s. So, there's probably not someone who's been around longer that's been as relevant for as long as he has in hip hop. Yeah. But that said, Wayne did perform at Essence in July.
It wasn't that good. I understand. I ain't gonna lie.
And also I want people to understand too, when Kendrick did the Amazon thing, the Amazon pop-up,
it was good.
It was well received.
Yeah,
it was very well received.
Not like us played a lot of times though, but
but I'm just saying,
I'm slight hating. It's cool.
But it wasn't called Kendrick Not Like Us. It was Kendrick doing his thing on Amazon, and the number of people that tuned in, and the number of people that reviewed it well. So there's a lot of factors that come in. But that said, there's other artists in New Orleans. If Wayne don't want to be there, that's fine. I'm very, very close with, obviously as a Saints fan, I'm very close with some folks from New Orleans. I understand that Wayne doesn't always have the greatest relationship with the city. There's artists there who have a better relationship with the city than Wayne, and they can bring them out as well. That's all. He
could do that. And Sean, I'm gonna tell you why the Wayne thing not gonna happen is not because of Wayne, because Wayne don't have no problem with like nobody. Everybody hate everybody around Wayne. And if you see when you get a chance after the show, just go down Nicki Minaj's Twitter page, go to Birdman Twitter page. It all Wayne people snapping and like going crazy. Feel like he's disrespecting Wayne. But let me know what you guys think about it in the chat. Make sure you comment down below. Comment, was Lil Wayne snubbed from the Super Bowl 59 halftime show? Let me know. Sean say no. I say yeah. You got to get wheezied up, man. We ain't gonna be too many opportunities left, man, to do it. But next year, another controversial story that had happened. So obviously, like I said, week 1 football, driving to your job. No matter how you're driving to your job, might be a little bit speeding because you might be a little late. Who knows? We're going to find out when more of the video evidence drop. But star wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, was detained by the police before game 1. One of the officers in the situation was placed on leave. Also, Sean, the other police came out with a statement now saying that Tyreek Hill was more of the problem and he put his other players in danger. What was your initial reaction to the situation and what you thinking about it? What was your initial reaction when you first heard it? And what's your reaction now after getting more information about the situation?
I would say two things. One, SB, as a black man, obviously, who's lived in America most of his life, I understand the contentious, sometimes relationship between law enforcement and black men. Without knowing everything that happened, obviously there's, three sides to a story. I want to be very careful and not to criticize either side too much. What I can say is that based on the video, it did appear very excessive for whatever they pulled him over for. But I don't know everything that happened. I don't know what he said. I don't know what he did. It didn't appear from the video like he was out of pocket. But again, from statements, it looked like they're saying, oh, he was combative or whatever that means, which is, again, that's very subjective, because combative can be saying, well, what did I do? So what I do know is $120 million, highlights every weekend. It doesn't matter when you get pulled over by the police and you look like you or I or Tyreek. So, and I don't know if, and you can't ever forget that. That is just, is it fair? No. But it's just the reality of where we live, and that, again, that relationship often contentious between the police and black men. We don't have to get into it. We know what that is. We know what that is. What I do know is, 8 years ago, this is why there was a certain quarterback who was kneeling during the national anthem. This was one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
And people got upset.
But you was kneeling for a reason, and that reason, and you still see it for today. For me, with the situation, it's like, I'm glad you brought up the point of, no matter how many highlights you get, no matter that Ferrari you driving in, no matter you got $100 million and you probably set your family up for generations, that is certain situations where you always going to be what you originally are to some people's lives, which you hate that we don't grow from this, things like this. Like you said, I don't want to criticize too much on both sides either way, because you truly don't know. We won't find out when the video drops for what was said. From what I have seen on the video, it does seem a little bit excessive for speeding. At the end of the day, even if Tyreek, you speeding because you're late, or you're speeding because you're the cheater and want to be fast, but you shouldn't do that anyway because you don't want to put other people in danger. And I understand that, because I done did that before too, when you're running late from work. I know when you're running late from work, because I done hit the gas a couple times. But you got to also think bigger picture at the end of the day. And then if your teammates see you getting, obviously, if I'm your teammate and I'm driving to work just like you driving to work, and I see you I'm gonna think the same thing too. And I'm gonna get, like, sometimes you don't want to get out of the situation. And I hate that it happened in front of the stadium. So now you got fans there, fans seeing that. It looks bad on Tyreek. It looks bad on the police department. It looks bad on the Miami organization. It looks bad all the way around. And I'm happily that nothing bad happened. Only thing that I did say I wanted Tyreek to understand too, he was just saying, like, thank God I was Tyreek Hill, or what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? Honestly, brother, even if you was Tyreek Hill, it'll still happen to you, bro. It don't matter. It's just that now, when it happened to you, unless it ain't on video or something just egregiously, clearly wrong, it's just gonna be a bigger story because of your name. But this happened all the time on the daily. So I hope and pray that we can get past this at some point. Because, like you said, being a police officer is a hard job. Being a firefighter, hard job. Teachers, hard job. I think, like, certain jobs like that should get paid more money. I know a lot of people, they hate to hear that, but I think if you're a police officer, you should get paid more money. You risk your life every day, but also it should be accountability and a standard. It should be an honor for you, and it should be certain things you should do and uphold when you have that power and ability. You have the power in your hand to change somebody's life because of your job. You could take somebody's life away. You could take somebody's life away by taking them down the street and put them in a cage. So I think people need to take it more seriously, because being a police officer shouldn't just be labeled as a job. But let me know what you go ahead, Sean.
No, I was gonna say real quick, SB, if he weren't Tyreek Hill, there are things that he's done and that he's been involved with in his past that he be in jail for right now, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
being Tyreek Hill has been a benefit to him.
Yes.
And I don't think people should ever discount that.
Mm-hmm.
But also hope that, again, don't make yesterday about you. Make yesterday about using your platform to address a bigger issue and a bigger problem. So that is all I would say about it. And we got breaking news. SB just came in. I don't know if you want to throw up breaking news.
Breaking news. What we got for the breaking news, Sean? Breaking news.
Christian McCaffrey, 49ers running back, is inactive tonight with a calf injury. Inactive tonight. So if you are placing bets or parlays, just make sure that you consider that Christian McCaffrey is out for the 49ers tonight on Monday Night Football.
Can I cash in my parlay? Can I get my cash back? Because I need that back. I'm gonna log in right now. Pause the show. Parlay. Oh, okay, they said they voided. Okay. Oh, they voided it? Okay, bad. Okay, cool. They voided it. So I just need Brees Hall to lock in, then Brees Hall lock in, and we should be good. But Christian McCaffrey out, that's big. That's big. Oh, we got to talk about that during the preview. That's big. Yeah. That Jets pick looking better and better now. That Jets pick looking better. Aaron Rodgers just got to last more than 4 plays. Okay. But also, speaking into doing stuff in the future, Coach Bill Belichick hosts the coach in 2025 despite media opportunities. And also, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, too. So he could probably be the first coach to ever be coaching while in the Hall of Fame.
Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs did? Okay, cool. So if Bill Belichick comes back, obviously, you got to have this conversation. Best place for Bill Belichick to go, Sean, is
New York Giants.
Oh, no. Ooh-wee. I mean, I know you got the history there, but it's nothing there on the roster. Yeah, it's going to be tough. For me, I want to say one team, but I don't want to give my boy – because I like their coach. I don't want to let him lose. I don't want him to lose his job, and they in my division. Because I would say the Raiders. But one, I don't want to see the Raiders do good. And I don't want to see a black man.
And he just got that job.
And he just got it. I want to see a black man lose a job. Yeah, he just got it too. I can't do that.
He just got that job. Yeah.
So if I had to pick, I'm not picking the Giants because the Giants is trash. But if I did have to pick, and then for everybody who probably gonna be like the Cowboys, Bill Belichick and Jerry Jones wouldn't last. That'd be the worst. That'd be the worst relationship that ever known to man. So Sean, looking at it, because I can't pick the Raiders, the Commanders, and I know they just hired Cliff Kingsbury, but I think
Dan Quinn. When Dan Quinn just got that job, this is his first year.
Hey, look, man, Bill Belichick, you gotta go. Sometimes,
and the reason why I'm not picking any teams that just hired coaches is all those teams had a chance to hire Bill Belichick this offseason, and they didn't.
I mean, that's true.
So if you're a team that just hired a coach and you had a head coach opening in 2024 and you didn't hire Bill Belichick, it's likely you're not going to hire Bill Belichick now. So, yeah.
Is the Giants coach the only one on the hot seat? Really? I'm looking at the teams. I'm trying to think.
I mean, in terms of hot seat, I mean, it's New York. You're always on the hot seat. That's the nature of the beast.
Yes.
The other New York team will not do it.
No.
Because of some history there with Belichick.
What about the Cardinals? Who they coach? Did they just hire somebody or no?
Jonathan Gannon. This is his second year.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So yeah, when you look around, I'm not saying we know every year there's going to be 3 or 4 guys who probably get fired, who lose their jobs or whatever. I just think right now, looking at the Giants, they just, make the most sense. And also, he does have a relationship with that Damara family that goes all the way back. And he was the one that recommended Brian Daboll to them. They asked his opinion on Brian Daboll. So,
Todd said they better have offensive coordinator, build.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, but I think you have to. They have to restructure that entire organization, front office, all the way through.
Top to bottom, top to bottom, everybody must go.
Yeah, because if I'm a Giants fan, I'm getting a little tired of seeing us draft an offensive guy, let him go, and he goes elsewhere and does well. I'm getting
touchdowns.
So I'm getting a little tired of that. So yeah, so I would think they would make a lot of sense. The Giants would make a lot of sense
before the season start. That is tough. Yeah, the Giants make a lot of sense. You let Saquon Barkley go. Taj, I know you're gonna be hurt off this, but look, I don't. When y'all get rid of Daniel Jones, they get a better quarterback. Malik Neighbors gonna become a dog, and y'all gonna let him walk, and he gonna be 2 times better somewhere else. It just seems like that's like part of the Giants story. More pick six and touchdowns.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to throw another team out there, and only because, again, I think it just depends on how this team finishes. But that team in Chicago could very well be looking for another head coach. I don't think Eberflus is locked in like that. So that would be the other team.
They need a new offensive coordinator for sure. Whoever called the offense need to be fired.
Yeah.
Whoever called the offense need to be fired. But speaking of somebody calling the shots, Jerry Jones finally dropped the bag for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott reached a 4-year, $240 million extension to make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I believe it was 220 that was guaranteed.
231.
231. Yeah, it's almost like the Deshaun Watson contract.
$1 million more than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, just a little bit less guaranteed. I mean, but to get majority of your contract guaranteed, I would say I'm not shocked that Dak got an extension. I'm shocked that a majority of his money is guaranteed on this extension. I'm shocked that he's the highest paid quarterback right now in the league. That's where I'm shocked at, Sean. What about you? Where your mindset at over this?
Not shocked at all. This was where it was trending anyway.
That's true.
After Tua and after Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love got their extensions, and all their extensions were around that $55 million a year range. It was always expected that the next guy was going to get 60. And the truth is, SB, you know this full well, Dak was probably going to get that on the open market, starting at that on the open market. So Cowboys, really had no choice for many reasons. They are securing their short-term future with Dak and obviously CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, Micah Parsons will probably not. They probably won't do anything with Micah Parsons until after this season. But
he said he'll wait. He said I think he was a podcast. He said he'll wait. So they can secure Dak and Micah.
Right.
I mean Dak and CeeDee. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So if you're the Cowboys, again, you did what you're supposed to do. Now, the big question will be is, what happens with Mike McCarthy long term? And again, I don't see them negotiating with McCarthy until after the season, if at all, depending on, again, how this turns out. But with the Cowboys, it's not even about who signed. It's not about what they do in the regular season. It's about January. And ultimately, let's see, what happens in January. But that said, you don't let guys like that walk out the door, if you can help it. So, and
what they gonna take a $40? What they gonna take a $40 million cap hit if he walked, right?
Yeah, but he was gonna cost $40 million against the cap anyway if he walked. So, so that said, this is what they do. And we talked about this before, SB. The Cowboys historically, when they have someone they deem a franchise quarterback, that person doesn't leave. That person plays their entire career for Dallas. So, at the end of the day, this is business as usual for the Cowboys. But, let's see what happens in January. And that's all it comes down to. Let's see what happens in January.
Yeah, because the Action Jack, that's crazy. We see Action Jackson all year after the Cowboys lost. He was gone all summer. The Cowboys get one win. We see that Cowboy hard hair out of nowhere. That's crazy, Action Jackson. He said, I think Dak could win MVP.
He was second in MVP.
Yeah, he's second. It's just possible.
So listen, that's not a stretch.
That's not a stretch either at all. Next on the list, speaking of contracts, so obviously we got to talk about the other side of that field where we played, because the Cowboys did their thing. Dak looked like he was happy that he got paid.
Yeah, he played solid. He
played solid. But the other side of the field, Deshaun Watson didn't play as well. He went 24 for 45, 169 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, Sean. So it begs the question that everybody asking, was this Deshaun? Imagine, you see that boy in Tampa, Big Baker, big Baker all the way. Big Baker been balling. So now people compare that Baker look better, even though it's week one overreaction. Baker looking better than Deshaun. So is this Deshaun Watson trade and contract the worst in NFL history as people started trying to push this narrative?
I think that remains to be seen. I still say the worst trade in NFL history was the Vikings trading for Herschel Walker and what they gave up to get Herschel Walker. That's still the worst trade in NFL history to me. But, it remains to be seen. Cleveland was a playoff. The Browns were a playoff team last year. And obviously the expectation was get Deshaun Watson back, get him healthy. Let's see what happens. But, it's week one. And SB, I know this sounds crazy, but did anybody clinch the division yesterday?
No, nobody did.
Did anybody clinch a playoff spot yesterday?
Nope, they didn't.
No. So, the last thing I think you can do is go crazy over week one. I know a lot of people are looking at Deshaun, and obviously for obvious reasons. But what I noticed yesterday was all the quarterbacks who were coming off of major injuries and major surgery did not play well yesterday. Kirk Cousins did not play well yesterday. Daniel Jones, we ain't even got to go into that. Deshaun did not play well yesterday. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers does tonight, coming off of major injury and major surgery. So, it's 1 week. And also, none of these guys play in the preseason. I know Deshaun did not play in the preseason. I know Kirk Cousins did not play in the preseason. The combination of their offensive lines did not play in the preseason as well. So you factor that in. So I'm not going to go crazy and nothing say he's done, but it did not look good, obviously. And he got hit a lot. And also, I think the other thing too is, I know we talk about it, everybody makes it about the quarterbacks. They ain't out there throwing it in the air. They are playing against defenses who prepare to play against them. And you got to give those defenses credit. Dallas' defense played really well in the first game under Mike Zimmer yesterday as well. Pittsburgh's defense played really well because it's Pittsburgh. They always play well on defense. So, we're not going to go crazy over week one, but certainly, if you're Cleveland, are you concerned? Yeah, you're concerned. Yes. But are you going to lose your mind? No, you're not. You're going to see. You got to see, if you can get him right and get him healthy and see what he does. He had a game last year against Baltimore, in Baltimore, I believe.
And cooked up.
Where he cooked, and he did it with the shoulder injury. So, my thing is, let's just see what he looks like after the rust is knocked off. And this is also a new offense, too, with a new offensive coordinator, because Ken Dorsey is their new offensive coordinator. So let's just see.
For me, yeah, we still got to give it time. I think the only reason why, because I think the trade is not the worst trade. Like, you got a chance to get a guy who's an elite quarterback at a point in time. You take the chance on him, even with the point of Baker Mayfield, because there's like Baker was solid with the Browns, but he wasn't like he was just this all elite quarterback. Because he's all elite, trust me, they would not have got rid of him. And then also forget that Baker was, where did Baker go right after? Because he was a backup first.
Carolina. He went to Carolina.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Then he goes to the Rams
as a backup,
and ends up having to play because Matt Stafford got hurt. So Baker's bounced around. He found a home, at least temporarily, in Tampa. But it was a process for Baker to find this spot. But also, this was a team that said, "Hey, we're gonna take a chance on you and he played well last season, and so can't take that away from him. But we're not gonna act like you said Baker wasn't all world in Cleveland. So they just said, hey, we think Deshaun is an upgrade, and at the time,
he was. It's like by far a better upgrade. So we can X the trade part out. I don't think it would never go in any, no matter how I go with Deshaun Watson. It would never go from that point because, like you said, Baker had to find a home. Now it took Baker 2 stops, and they're like, oh, okay, Baker look good. Now y'all miss Baker Mayfield. No, don't do that because he wasn't the same Baker Mayfield. He went to places and learned as a backup under people. Then we go to the contract situation. It's only been a problem at the contract because he had a fully guaranteed contract, and NFL owners were scared that he was going to reset the market, that everybody's going to start asking for fully guaranteed contracts. So let's knock that out the bud. But does Deshaun Watson need to play better? Yes. Does Deshaun Watson show he's worth that money? Yes. But also we got to also keep in mind that this is not Madden. We are real people and real things does happen. So it did look like Deshaun Watson was a little bit off during that game. Everybody could think he's done. But personally, Sean, he lost his father Friday, and I believe he lost his friend like a week before that. So he had a lot of things going on personally that took a toll on him. I honestly commend the brother for going out there and still playing. I know it's football. Football is more of a tough sport, so everybody wants you to just say suck it up and get out there and play, do what you got to do. But you don't know how I feel that you lose your father 2 days before you got to go out there on the field. The man probably didn't even have time to grieve yet, but to come out there and play, put his heart on the line, I commend the brother. It still don't take away from the fact of, like, future-wise, he definitely still have to improve to show that he's worth, because this Cleveland Brown team could compete for a Super Bowl championship, and it's not like they don't need Deshaun Watson to be the Texans Deshaun Watson. All you got to do is be above average. That's just throw dotted passes, be accurate like how he was, and make the plays when they need them. Because when Nick Chubb come back, his job is going to be a lot easier. But what's your reaction to the story coming to find out like this was taking a toll on Deshaun Watson?
I mean, not surprising. He didn't use it as an excuse for how he played yesterday, which obviously, is stand up. Also, they had some issues, on their offensive line. They didn't have either their 2 tackles yesterday. The offensive left or right tackle, which again, we know Cowboys' best defensive player is a pass rusher. So, and obviously, that factored in. But that said, it is not easy when you're dealing with loss. And again, like you said, SB, not having time to really kind of mourn and take your time to mourn or whatever. If he had decided not to play yesterday, I think there are people who would have understood. But that said, he showed up and didn't show out.
But he showed up.
But he showed up, and and again, it's one game. They'll figure out how to get some things fixed. And again, like you said, no Nick Chubb as well. He's out for the first 4 games at minimum. So, we'll see. I don't think yesterday was an indictment on what Cleveland is or whatever. It's just, just a bad game for them.
The crazy part about it is, I see your comment, even if it's probably not his biological, there's probably somebody who's a father figure in his life, either one. So we don't truly know, but he lost his father. Somebody was like a father to him. But you know what's crazy though, Sean, when we was doing and how we do our predictions early, how everybody overreacting, then I guess we just did this division so wrong, because right now, if my math is math and then I'm calculating right, the Bengals lost.
Yes.
The Browns lost.
Yes.
And the Ravens lost.
Yes.
The Steelers won, though.
Yes.
So I guess Steelers just, since we overreacted, so Steelers just won the division. Now, it's just a lot. I might as well blow my prediction board up, so it's Steelers division now, We just reacted over one game now. We got to calm down though, y'all. But we do got a game tonight though. Jets versus 49ers. Obviously, with the breaking news you just dropped on the people that Christian McCaffrey will be out game 1. That is a big, big loss. Me and you both predicted the Jets to win this game. I do have a question. We do have a segment next up talking about Aaron Rodgers. But how big, because now it's breaking news, how big of a hit for this game is to lose Christian McCaffrey? Or could Brock Purdy, because this is the truth. I want to see if Brock Purdy gonna be Brock Purdy now. You ain't got Christian behind. You gotta throw that, peel. You gotta throw that pig skin.
Well, yeah, I mean, you certainly if you're the Jets, and not having to worry about Christian McCaffrey, not even just as a runner, but also as a receiver, and what he does, obviously catching passes out of the backfield and splitting out. I don't think it'll change the Jets' approach. The Jets are going to be in attack mode tonight. But listen, you just paid Brandon Ayuk a pretty penny.
That pig skin to him.
Yeah, so now it's time to, maybe open it up a little bit. But that said, this game's going to come down to, again, I think both defenses and certainly, again, I don't think the Jets are going to change their game plan much without Christian McCaffrey. They're going to go out and do what they do.
Yeah, and then for me, like I said, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers in a second, so I'm exiting him to the side for now. For me, for the Jets, I want to see tough defense. I think whoever played better defensively will win this game. And also for the Jets, give Breece Hall the ball. Give Breece Hall the ball. Like we just acknowledged earlier that every quarterback who came off a season in the injury or hurt did not play well. Make Aaron Rodgers' job easier. Give Breece Hall the ball. And 49ers, same thing. Like you got to be trying a way to get to that quarterback, stuff the run. I would definitely, which is crazy to say, the 49ers need to stuff the run and make Aaron Rodgers beat them. Let's see if you knock the rust off. You've been gone for a year. But now I'm looking at Brock Purdy with no Christian McCaffrey. Is what Cal Shanahan going to use like Debo, how he used to use Debo, make him do the handoff, the runs, and those type of Miami plays, or what Brock Purdy going to do? Because Brock Purdy could make a name for himself tonight if he out throw the ball of Aaron Rodgers, which is the best time to do it with Aaron Rodgers pretty much rusty, weakened Aaron Rodgers. But, with the headline, people just going to go off names. But this is the time if Brock Purdy want to do it, he should do it. So for me with this game, I still got the Jets winning. I think I got the Jets winning probably by like 7, maybe a point, one possession lead game. But I definitely see this game being a good game.
Yeah.
Now, Sean, like I said, I want to push Aaron Rodgers to the side. But now he get to open the door and come back in the booth. Is there any pressure on Aaron Rodgers to perform well? Because obviously they traded for him. Same way like we talking about Deshaun Watson. Traded for him because they was just one quarterback away. Got hurt first draft. His highlights last season was him walking the flag to the thing, and that was about it. I'm just saying. But is there any pressure on Aaron Rodgers to perform now?
I think this season, yes. But I don't think necessarily it has to be tonight. Jets view themselves as Super Bowl contenders, certainly contenders to win their division. Every team in the division won yesterday. So you like to be after tonight tied with everybody else in the division at 1-0. But I don't think it's necessarily all on Aaron Rodgers. I think it's just Aaron Rodgers just has to play solid football because again, to me, that offense runs through Breece Hall. And obviously, they're going to take their shots, with Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams and, some of the other weapons. But I think that offense runs through Breece Hall. They want to play. They want to be ball control offense and, again, play complementary to the defense. But no, I think the pressure is just this season because they view themselves as a Super Bowl contender because they have Aaron Rodgers back healthy after only playing 4 snaps last year.
Yeah, for me, it's a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers to perform. And honestly, a lot of Aaron Rodgers will play the whole game, too. Let's see if you make it through the whole game. Let's see if Aaron Rodgers is still that Aaron Rodgers. Because obviously, I know we love to go off name value, but we also see that year off, it takes some time to get it back going on the field. And also, you don't look the same all the time. So I want to see if Aaron Rodgers really get back to being A-Rod. But yes, I have to agree. It's a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers to perform. Now, let's do a quick week 1 recap. We brought out the Colts game that was good. We talked about the not the Browns. I'm looking at last week. We did talk about the Browns and the Cowboys. We also just talked about the game that's coming up tonight. But what other games of week 1 that you wanted to recap and react to? I mean, your Saints looked dominant against the Panthers. Goat James asked, was it a bad week for you guys? What was one game that stuck out to you besides the one we talk about where you was like, or it could be something with a certain player that stuck out to you? Is like, oh, okay, this. I ain't believing this. Okay, this look kind of nice. And what was your one concern where you looked at was like, oh no, dang, that's look kind of bad from your week 1 recap?
I would say definitely Cincinnati losing to New England. I don't think anybody had that on their on their
bingo card. No, we did not.
But give New England credit. What did they do? They came out and played exactly how they want to play. They want to run the ball. They want to play really good defense. Christian Gonzalez is showing why they really valued him when they chose him a couple years ago as a first-round pick at corner. He is very good. Very good. And again, I think he's gonna be one of those guys that it could be, even in a tough season, what people think will be a tough season for New England, could be a guy who becomes, a household name at the cornerback position. But definitely a surprise. We go into the season, I wasn't overly high on Cincinnati anyway. And the other thing with Cincinnati is you lose in New England. What's their game next week? They got to go to Kansas City, who's coming off a mini bye week, basically. So, could very well start out 0-2, if you're Cincinnati. And again, it was definitely not expected. I would say that again at Tennessee, the Titans, Texans and Colts game, seeing those second-year quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson, to be very real, man, he is watching him. It's mountains and valleys, because the Colts could have won that game, to be very clear.
Yes.
And again, the process of his continuing to mature as a thrower of the football and not just making the spectacular play, because we know he can do that.
You can do that.
Can you do the everyday stuff you have to do as a quarterback throwing the football? But CJ Stroud looked good. He picked up from where he left off last season. Joe Mixon,
MVP.
A lot of people, didn't think about that pickup. Carried the ball 30 times.
Why the Bengals let him go? He was a heavy part of the offense. I just didn't understand that. If it's money, I guess, but
because Mike Brown is cheap as all get out. He has always been cheap, and he will continue to be cheap. He wasn't cheap paying Joe Burrow, and you see they still haven't paid Jamar yet. Mike Brown is cheap.
Yeah, good luck with that, brother.
So that's why.
That's good luck with that, brother.
Yeah.
Good luck. For me, I definitely do like the fact of like how talented Anthony Richardson is, that he shows that. Because like I said, to slip and still throw the ball 60 yards is ridiculous. But I do agree that he needs to learn how to do the everyday things. And also slide, bro. Slide, please, for the love of God. Slide, bro, because you, as big, as strong as you look, as big, as strong as you are, you ain't going to be stronger. You ain't going to be able to take all them hits like that at all. Also, Sean, how you feeling about the action? It was against the Cardinals, but your boy, your MVP pick looked pretty good so far.
So
two TDs, two rushing TDs.
Remember, SB, I told you I picked him to win MVP because of how the media treats him and how they talk about him and how they want him to be Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson so bad. Now, he did play well. He played solid. But the Cardinals had a chance to win that game. And the Cardinals were up in that game, so I just think he's certainly a huge favorite for the media to win the MVP. And again, he can sell the narrative. Oh man, we don't have Stephon Diggs anymore. I'm doing it without Stephon Diggs, and and the defense isn't as good as it once was, and blah blah blah. So, but no, he played really solid. He played really solid football.
Dylan said in a TikTok chat, he said Cardinals are a lot better than people think, which is true because if Josh Allen had to throw 2 touchdowns and ran 2 in, and they still barely won, that definitely tells.
Well, the Cardinals, remember the Cardinals last season, they were like 2-5 in 1-score games. They were competitive in a lot of games, and they beat a couple playoff teams in the NFC East by the name of Philadelphia and Dallas. So, so I'm just saying, and with one of those games, they won with Josh Dobbs at quarterback. So, I think again, the Cardinals are not to be slept on. They're not an easy win any week.
But with
everything, I need Marvin Harrison to get more than 1 target for 4 yards, or 1 catch for 4 yards, and Kyler Murray missed him late in the game. He was wide open and did not see him. He was wide. I mean, there was nobody within 15 yards of him.
It's hard to see when you can't see over the line, man. Unless you So I mean, trust me. If he was tall enough, he would have seen him. But when you shorter than your offensive line, ain't nothing you can do. What I'm saying? It's crazy if you got the short jokes, but I'm just telling you, I had a quarterback. But also, Sean, when it comes, it's always winners and it's always losers. So, who is your biggest winner? Who is your biggest loser for week 1? If you have more than one, then let me know.
I would say the biggest winner in week 1 was Pittsburgh. Again, going on the road, a lot of people really high on Atlanta. It definitely, being able to win a game with Justin Fields, who again was not expected to start up until probably like Friday, late Friday. And again, Pittsburgh, they have their formula, and they stick to their formula. They're going to run the football. They're going to try to take care of the football. They're going to try to force some turnovers, and they just scored a touchdown and won the game. And won the game by 8, and didn't score a touchdown. All their points were field goals. So yeah. But
again, talk about getting the dirty Mike Tomlin, bro. You just gotta get it how you live.
Yeah. And again, at the end of the day, it wasn't pretty, and it doesn't have to be pretty. But Justin Fields played really solid football. And again, I don't know what Russ's status is going to be for week 2. Whether or not he's going to be healthy enough to play week 2. But if I'm Pittsburgh, the last thing I'm worried about is trying to rush Russ back when you have, again, Justin Fields. And even Mike Tomlin said, we got 2 quarterbacks. We got 2 guys that we know can play and can win games for us. So, and the fact that they got Justin Fields for next to nothing from the Bears, is everything. So, yeah, so they're the big winner. The loser for me is Jacksonville. You got to close. You got to find a way to close that game. You had Miami. You had Miami, on the ropes. Travis Etienne fumbled on the 5-yard line going in to score. And you got to find a way to win that game. And, again, I think, we don't talk about the division enough, but the AFC South is going to be a real interesting division this year because it's probably the young gun quarterback division. The veteran in the division is Trevor Lawrence, who's in his 4th year. So we'll see. But yeah, but definitely Jacksonville to me is my loser of week 1.
Biggest winner is me for 2 reasons. One, my Chargers got the dub, Sean, and we actually got a coach who's coaching. He's making smart decisions. We didn't go for 4th and 10 in our own 20, not once per game. We made smart passes. Herbie looked nice. Dobbs, and was our run game looked nice. Harbaugh gonna win that ball. Also, Sean, the biggest winner is me again because I say us on this one because we both laughed at him. Oh, Bo Nix look like Bo Nix now. You think I wasn't gonna bring that up? You didn't think I wasn't gonna bring that up? Oh, what happened to all the Bo Nix agenda? It don't look the same when you playing the first string guys or second string guys.
I'll tell you this. There was one play, I don't know if you heard it, but he rolled out to throw a pass. And right before he threw the pass, Adam Archuleta, who was calling the game, said, "Oh no." Right before he threw it, because he knew it was picked. And Reek Willen, he basically, could have handed it to Reek Willen if he's going to throw it there. But no, I mean, listen, he's rookie quarterback. All the rookie quarterbacks look like rookies. Jaden Daniels, he had some moments, but he's like a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams, we obviously, he looked like a rookie. Bo Nix looked like a rookie. So the expectation is these are rookie quarterbacks. They're going to have ups. They're going to have downs. It was, they're going to have weeks where they look okay, but they are rookies. And then the other loser, and I would say there was another rookie who made their debut yesterday as well. I know a lot of people didn't want to talk about it, but Tom Brady making his debut in the booth. If you listen to the game, if you watch the game, he is a rookie, right? Everybody's going in, Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champ. None of that crap matters. This is a very new world for him. And Fox paid him $375 million. Did they know that this was what it's going to sound like in the first week? Probably not. That said, I believe fully that hopefully he'll get better, he'll get more comfortable.
Yeah.
And obviously he has some of the things he can't say because of what he's trying to do with with the Raiders. But at the end of the day, it was like his first game started for the Patriots. He was a rookie, and that's what he sounded like.
And growing to media school now is learning to do the play-by-play and just the regular radio show. A lot of people think, especially now because the podcast world, a lot of people think it's easy. It's easy to just turn your camera on and just say a lot of blase, but when you actually got to structurally call the game right or structurally put your show together right, it's not as easy as you think. It's easy to turn the camera on. They can just bring 10 people over here. We just start yelling now. So that's easy because we just sitting chilling. But to actually do an actual show or to actually call a game play by play, it's harder than you think. I know, a lot of people say you ain't an athlete, you ain't never been in this world. Trust me, you ain't been in that media booth either. It hits a lot different and it's a lot harder. When you don't know what you're talking about, people go call you out. And my last big winner, obviously, Big Baker Mayfield, still looking good. Biggest losers. Obviously, the Giants because they trash, the Panthers because they trash, but also the Vikings because now they go just because Sam Darnold looked very good against the trash Giants. They gonna think he worth something, but also I keep telling everybody when you got a wide receiver like Justin Jefferson next to you, he can make you look good. And the Vikings should be happy they got off the Kirk Cousins contract because Sam Darnold just looked like Kirk Cousins yesterday.
And also the other loser was whoever decided that the Giants was going to wear those pants with those. I understand it's a throwback game, 100 years. Those pants were atrocious. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. The crazy part, the jerseys weren't that bad, but the pants, the uniform, it was oh my God. Don't ever do that again.
I don't know why they brought the throwbacks back. But Sean, a lot of teams have been hit with the injury bug. Let's go through it quick. Obviously, the biggest one, and that hurts you a lot too because he's your quarterback. Jordan Love reportedly suffered MCL strain. Out first, it was 1 to 4. Now upgraded from 3 to 6 weeks. Sean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Jordan Love is out for the season, and this is what I would do if I'm the Packers. And I was just talking to somebody about this. If I'm the Packers, we go with Malik Willis. They signed Ryan Tannehill too. I don't know if you've seen that too. Yeah. Well, they in contact with Ryan Tannehill, but they don't sign. Yeah. So obviously, I look at their schedule exactly. But say if he out for 6 weeks, you go 6 weeks, 1 for 5. Sit out the rest of the season. Tank, go get Travis Hunter.
I think it depends on where the division is, right? I think it depends on where the division is. If at the end of the day, I think if he, is healthy and you're still within striking distance of the division, and again, I'm presuming the division is going to come down to them in Detroit, obviously, I believe. See where you are, but also look at the wild card situation as well. Because again, they were a wild card team last year. We know what they did going on the road. In their first round. But no, I think you just you weigh it, right. You're going to look at where you are. But I don't. That's not really their organizational MO. I think they are organizational. They're always trying to be competitive and always trying to win. So, and it's 3 to 6 weeks. I've had an MCL strain. It depends on the grade. They said it's a grade 2, which is usually about 4 to 5 weeks. So again, and I don't know when their bye week is. I think it's week 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's later in the season.
Yeah, it's later in the season. So I think if you can play 500 football, and again, this may be a stretch, playing 500 football, and he's back healthy, you bring him back and see if you can go on a run. And because again, look at the run they went on the second half of last season. So.
Hey, Blue Ball got a question, Sean. I can tell you my answer. He says, estimate you. First of all, you started it off bad, Blue Ball, so you are pretty new with the salute SB and Sean. Shaking my head again. How bad are my Giants? Shaking my head for a third time. As bad as those jerseys that y'all just wore. What you, Sean?
I don't even want to describe how bad it was. I mean, when you got guys basically getting upset because fans are booing, and you had fans outside the stadium when Daniel Jones walked by. It was like, "Hey, give me that $1 million because you ain't earned it." That kind of stuff.
Which is true. I mean,
it's pretty bad.
No, it's bad, Blue Ball. It's bad.
Yeah.
G Money said, I'm a Giants fan today, lack heart and coaching and suspect, and the quarterback is booty right now. That is true. Next on the injury bug list, Rams breakout star wide receiver Puka Nacua suffers a knee injury versus the Lions. When I looked up the injury, I didn't see a timeline on it, so I'm expecting him to come back week 2. From what I'm saying, I think he was just. Oh no, I'll take it back. Rams Puka Nacua is going to be out for at least a month. He suffered a knee sprain, so he's going to be out for a while. That's tough. That's a tough hit for the Rams too, because they definitely need Puka.
Well, yeah, but I mean, and again, they got Cooper Kupp back healthy. And he looked good last night. He stepped his game up when Puka went out. Obviously, they're going to do it by committee, more than likely. The one thing with Sean McVay, they ain't gonna make excuses. So I think we'll see what they do, but they're not gonna make excuses.
Yeah, and with NFL, man, I hope the injury bug list don't. If we start doing the injury bug list, I hope we'll keep the list getting longer. Bears rookie wide receiver Rome Odunze to undergo MRI on his knee, so it's no timetable yet. He's getting an MRI under his knee surgery. Even though they got a lot of receivers, I know Keenan Allen was limping a little bit during the game too. And how bad the Bears offense looked, they need to open the playbook up a little bit more for Caleb Williams and the team. But losing 2 receivers, possibly like Rome Odunze, even though he's a rookie, and Keenan Allen will be a tough loss for the Bears.
So, yeah, they're saying it's a grade 1 sprain. Okay. And then he is week to week. So again, with the grade 1 sprains, you're talking sometimes 1 to 2 weeks. Again, big thing is you don't want him back on the field until he's healthy. So no need to rush him back. So yeah.
All right. But one that's looking bad, even though I know the Panthers are down here for the Panthers, but this is the huge hit. Panthers Pro Bowl D tackle Derek Brown suffered potential season-ending injury in the week 1 loss. From what I'm seeing with Derek Brown, he said the Panthers suffered a huge loss regarding their best defensive lineman. Turned out to be correct. Brown is feared to suffer a meniscus injury to his knee that could require season-ending surgery. I feel like for me with this one, I think Derek Brown, if he needs season engineer, the Panthers not going to do anything. You might as well sit it out and actually get to enjoy having your first round pick this year because y'all kind of gave it away last year. Because they could have built a lot of talent off that pick because it was like you just got Bryce Young. I get Caleb Williams there, but I doubt they would have took Caleb. But you could have probably traded that number 1 pick, got some pieces. Got a lot of good pieces, but they didn't get the job done. What you think about this, Rashawn? What D Brown should do if you need season-ending knee surgery?
I mean, you get the surgery.
Yeah.
You get the surgery. I mean, he is the centerpiece of their defense. And but if the surgery is required, get the surgery. And get it, obviously soon enough that you can be ready for hopefully training camp next season, depending on the extent of the surgery. So, but this is this is the unfortunate part of the game. Injuries happen, and it stinks. But if you're Carolina, you gotta go next man up and try to figure out a way to get a win in your home opener next week against the Chargers.
Oh yeah, no, they're not getting that. We finna run up the scope. But also, Sean, last part of the week one recap is SB and Sean pick of the weeks. Recap of the pick of the weeks. All right, let's see who won. Let's go, baby.
So we both had Philadelphia winning.
Okay, yes.
We both had New Orleans winning.
Yes.
You and Arizona, Buffalo. You had Arizona. I had Buffalo. Buffalo won. New England and Cincinnati, we both lost because obviously New England won. Minnesota at the Giants, we both had Minnesota. We know what happened there. Tennessee at Chicago, you had Chicago. Chicago did win.
Bing, bing,
Pittsburgh at Atlanta, you had Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh did win.
Bing, bing.
Jacksonville at Miami. Miami did win. You had Miami. We both had Houston. We both had the Chargers. Both had Seattle. We both had Cleveland. Beating Dallas. Obviously, Dallas did not win, or Dallas did win. Excuse me. Cleveland did not win. We both had Tampa Bay. We both had Detroit. So week one, SB wins week one. But it's 18 more. It's 17 more to go. Right? 17 more to go.
We coming back. I told you, Sean won the trophy last year. We might have to. I might have to look into like the custom belts, and then whoever win the season get the custom RTOFD NFL belt, man. But SB wins week one. We starting the season 1-0 against Sean. So we gonna try to get it. We gonna try to come back. Sean obviously got him a ring already from last season. So yeah, but that is the show, Sean. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, I'm excited for football tonight. Well, if you had to predict the score, Sean, what you thinking the score gonna be tonight?
I'm gonna say 25-23 Jets.
25-23 Jets. I'm gonna go 28-21 Jets.
All right.
It was my touchdown. All right, guys. See ya. Peace. We are out of here. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe, and see you guys on Friday.
Worker man.